The hell? Time for a riverside party. Help Saki, Nath, and Kai catch fish for the barbecue. Huh. Like, full blunt, I usually don't participate in the events like this, but it's mostly because I forget that they exist. And at that, I end up being somewhat busy, so I never really get the chance to mess around with them. This time around, though, I figure, you know what? It's been a while since I played some Orange Juice, and it's not only a guilty pleasure, but it's also a somewhat regular fixture for the channel. So, why not? Nakamura! My name is Sage Blake. I'm a wanderer, storyteller, artist and mature, and at this point I kinda just wanna relax. I don't bloody know. You know what? I'll just create a room. But yeah, for those who don't know 100% orange juice, or 100% orange juice, essentially think of it like... how should I put this? A cross between RPG and card and board game. You go about a specific map, collect stars, beat up enemies, and for the most part, that's about it. Everything within the game is usually determined by simple RNG or otherwise dice rolls, and it's up to you to make the best of the situation you're given and make do. Actually, while I'm at it, I think I can like get in a single game just to display it. Well then, already fighting a character I don't normally fight. Again, it has been a while since the last time I played this game. So, out of the characters here, the one I'm not familiar with is actually Cupid. Simple stats... oh, right, you're in a battle. Okay, relatively standard. And what's your hyper? Stock effect. In a battle where you attack first, drop your attack, increase your defense for every 2. For every 2 stock. Interesting. I have never seen that hyper before. Then again, some of these characters I haven't seen before. I have seen Aru, and she's actually a standard character everyone starts with when they buy the game. As for Mimu and Tomato, theirs is an interesting one. They have a lesser recovery than most characters, at 4 if I remember correctly, but they're also a flip character, where if one of them perishes, the other takes over. If I remember correctly, Mimu is the one that sets up traps, and Tomomo is the Tomato is the one that detonates them and deals damage to targets. As for my specialty when it comes to this game, it's dying. Okay, game? When I said my specialty was dying, you didn't have to make it a canon statement. Oh my fucking god. Okay, so explaining battles. Battles can occur in a few different situations. Whenever you pass by a specific player, you can choose to battle them. Otherwise, if you land on red spaces, then you can battle bosses or standard enemies. Usually, the person who initiates the battle attacks first. An attack roll is relatively standard. Roll a die, 1 to 6, That value plus or minus your appropriate attack value is how much damage you can potentially deal. In my case, with Suguri, she gains +1 attack, so if I were to say roll a maximum 6, then my total attack power would end up being 7. The defending character also gets to roll a die. But they get a choice, usually between defense and evasion. When you choose to roll evasion, then you can roll, and if your evasion roll is higher than the attack roll, you completely nullify the damage. Ties are given to the attacker, and if you meet or can't meet the amount required to dodge the attack, like that, you suffer all of the damage. No resistance, no chance to say otherwise, you just fucking die. You could also, however, choose to defend. Defending against damage reduces the amount of damage you take by the number you roll for defense. My specific character has a penalty to defense, however, so if I were to, say, roll a maximum 6, I would actually have defense 5, drop the amount of damage that I suffer by 5 points. No matter how much you reduce damage by, however, by defending, you will always take at least 1 damage. This leads to a whole bunch of strategy when it comes to battles. Do you choose to defend even knowing that your defense is going to be crap? Or do you choose to dodge and gamble with the chance that you can potentially die? My specific character is an attacker category character. They specialize in dealing damage to targets and dodging damage. Okay, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this fishing thing. So by the look of it, choose an area, hold down the mouse button to drop the hook. Once you latch a fish, that's it, and move on with your day. At certain points, time will speed up, and you'll have a little less time to reel up fish. Come on. I'll take a jelly. Three, 2, 1, time! Alright, Jonathan. Time to die. Wow. That sucks. It could be worse. The objective to win each game is dependent on Norma. Essentially, level ups. There are 6 different Norma levels, ranging from 0 to 5. And the way you advance your Norma level is by landing on home base, when you meet certain requisites. Your initial Norma requires either, if I remember correctly, 1 battle win, or 10 stars. But past then, you will need to choose one or the other to meet. I hate you. Each Norma gets progressively higher and higher, and thus harder and harder to meet. If I remember correctly, the level 1 Norma is 30 stars or 2 battle victories. Then it's 70 stars or 5 battle victories. 120 stars or 9 battle victories, and 200 stars or 14 battle victories for winning the match. I hate you, chicken. After certain points of the game, or by landing on green tiles, like so, you gain cards. Each and every card has a few important facets to them. That was a good move. Yeah. The card that Tomato just used right there, or Sky rather, is Arbits. Increases defense by 2 points, but you can only choose to defend in battle. This also gives us a means of showing off how cards work. There are 2 requisites for cards. A minimum normal level to use their effect, and also an amount of stars to pay. In the case of Arbits, you need to be normal level 2 or higher, and you need to pay 3 stars. Green stars are worth 1, and orange ones / yellow ones are worth 10. Oh, wow. That was a terrible decision. So the card that the CPU just used there, Dark Side of Business. Gain 2 attack power. The enemy loses 2 defense. However, for the battle in which you use this, you do not deal HP damage to them. Instead, you steal stars equal to the damage you deal times 5. It's a very useful card for characters that excel in gathering stars, or just innately have higher attack power. The problem is, Otter doesn't have good attack power whatsoever. And then with that, Otter is just one of those characters that isn't meant to be fighting whatsoever. She's meant to survive or defend. Certain characters have certain archetypes within this game, and more often than not, characters specialize in multiple archetypes. How I end up playing Suguri, actually, is with the Stars Norma more than the Winds Norma. She can fight, and she's good at fighting, but that doesn't necessarily mean you want to fight all the time. Especially with that lower defense stat. If worse comes at that, she also has a little less HP than the typical character, too. Average HP for characters is usually 5. She starts out with 4. That's going to kill me. No thank you. I'll take the loss in stars. Every character can carry up to 3 cards, and they're usually divided into 4 categories. There are boost cards, which have an immediate effect, usually beneficial. Oh, there's a boss fight. Huh. Actually got some damage on the shopkeeper. And shop closed. That's typical. There are event cards, which usually affect everyone in some way, shape, or form. There are battle cards, which produce an effect for a character while they're within battle, and usually can only be used when a battle initiates. And lastly, there are gift cards, which produce a passive effect, but if you don't want it, then you can throw the card away instead. Some gift cards are especially dangerous, and actually there's a character that completely revolves around gift cards. Gotcha, Fishy. Ah, crap. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Huzzah! It might be in your best interest to challenge her. Okay. I'm not gonna judge decisions on this, because honestly, Tomato slash Mimu is a very risky and rewarding character. That worked a little too well. I'll get rid of that. Essentially, yeah. Tomato is the attacker of the group with Waruda Machine. Blast off! Ah, crap. Time to die. Okay, I might be able to survive this with defense. Oh, you've got to be kidding me! Two times I've gone to roll on defense, and 2 times now. Killed in a single blow. I hate my dice luck. I hate my dice luck. I'm just gonna stop at home. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Better! Ugh. What a piss take. I'll use a cookie. I'm gonna need stars, so let's go up this way. There we go. And I should be able to get to my next Norma just by waiting it out. Because every turn, after every round of turns elapses, people get stars. Every 5 chapters, the amount of stars players get increases by 1 permanently. Well, permanently for the match, I should say. It's to encourage players to, well, get a move on. And I think it might be in my best interest to fight Aru. Eat it. Yeah, provided CPU Cupid doesn't get any bad ideas, I should be fine. Really? You're gonna try me, old man? I'm accelerating. You're dying. Yeah, Sky played this well, considering it's Tomato. Again, Tomato is a tricky character to use. Because if you're not constantly trying to gather stars with Tomato, then you risk dying due to their low HP pool. But again, they do revive faster, and they're a flip character.